What up, guys? So today's video is about a post one of my buddies made, Josh McKinny, black belt, beautiful jiu-jitsu. I've had him on this channel before, showing some stuff. I've rolled and trained with him before. Good guy. He had a post where he said, like on Instagram, it's like, give me your jiu-jitsu hot takes or give me your hot takes. And the person said, submissions are more likely to happen when someone is down on points than in a sub only. And I agree with that idea, because in a sub only, that's like where you typically have a draw at the end, those matches tend to go to draw very often because at some point the person just shells up and doesn't really go for it. You know, and if it's a true sub only, I mean, you'll have a 100% submission rate, but a lot of those matches end up being like paint drying, where they're like going for like an hour or something. You know, so I think, you know, typically speaking, you see more engagement from a match where there is some sort of point system and you have an ending to it, right? You know, because again, if you think about this thing that we do in jiu-jitsu competitions, it's a conflict between two people, and at the end, you want a nice, satisfying conclusion to it. Imagine watching the, you know, it's going on right now, the NCAA championships for wrestling, and the national champion isn't awarded, it's a draw. It'd be terrible. Imagine watching the Super Bowl or the NBA championships and it's a draw. That'd be terrible. So instead, you know, you want to have an ending. You want to have this person won, this person lost, this team won, this team lost. Josh replied back and says, submission only with a time limit and ref's decision is the dumbest rule set. Now, I don't think Josh has it out for me, the Jiu-Jitsu Open. Maybe he does, who knows? But that's our rule set. It's a sub only, technically. It's more like submission focused with a time limit to have an ending to it, and also a ref's decision, so that we have someone who can decide. They can be the arbiter of who did what they should have done the most and who won this thing. This way we don't have a bunch of draws, and again, you don't want to have the matches just go forever, because then again, who knows how long your tournament would last. The matches also get very boring. So with that said, let's talk about this idea, because I've been running with my partner Jeff and Erica. We've been running this competition for over a year, since 2023, and it's been very successful so far. We've run almost a dozen of them, and I wanted to sort of share the results and talk about it with you guys, because I think it's interesting, right? So one of the things that's been really cool about the competition is, since the very first one, 2023, we've maintained a 65 to 75% submission rate. So 3 out of 4 matches on average are finishes. It's pretty awesome. I mean, you see a lot of people going for it. And even just to be there sometimes, right? I'm sitting like walking around talking to people at these competitions. I can sit there and watch all the matches because people are so damn aggressive, right? And I think it's in part the rule set that we put in place, right? Because when I came up with the rule set and some of the different features of the competition, I wanted to address some of the problems that happen in jiu-jitsu. Like, number one is we do the Madison bracketing, so this way we can put you together with people that are close to your same weight, so you don't show up to the competition and have nobody in your division. Sometimes it's still difficult to find enough people, especially if they're at like the teens division and stuff, but we do our best to try to make sure you get some matches there. You get multiple opponents around the same weight, right? Instead of being in a division of one person. We do the round robin, so this way you get lots of matches, because again, one of the things that you want to get out of competition is you want to get as much experience as possible. But in a single elimination, a lot of jiu-jitsu practitioners who are not used to competing, you know, they might lose their first match. Boom, that's it. You're out. Whereas in our competition, you will get multiple matches guaranteed to you. And we'll do as much as we can to get you as many matches, up to 4 per division, as possible. And then one of the big things, which is why I did the ref's decision with a time limit, and it's sort of a submission only, you know, focused, is that when you watch certain jiu-jitsu competitions that use point systems, and by the way, this is coming to you from a person who's been very successful at point-based competitions. I know how they work. I'm good at them. But when you watch them, a lot of times it's rewarding a certain type of jiu-jitsu, or it's, you know, incentivizing certain things. So let's say, for instance, you have 2 grapplers going, grappler A and grappler B. Grappler A comes in, takes down grappler B very early in the match. Grappler B goes on to have grappler A in submission after submission, choke, arm locks, leg locks, all over the place, but never gets the sweep, never takes dominant position, but they have him dead to rights multiple times. They just can't quite get the finish. In a lot of point-based competitions, that person would win. Grappler A, they got the takedown, they got the 2 points, 2. That's it, they win the match. All they had to do was just not get submitted. On the flip side, at our competition, grappler B wins because they literally did more jiu-jitsu. They were aggressive. They had this person all over the place. If we were in the gym and we saw these 2 guys grappling, we would say grappler B was all over this dude, right? But in a lot of point-based competitions, we were rewarded differently. So I wanted to have a rule set that rewarded people with different types of games. So we're not just saying, hey, the wrestlers get the advantage or the guard players get the advantage. It's like, I don't care what kind of jiu-jitsu you use, I just want you to be aggressive. And if you're aggressive, you're going to look good to the judges. And because it's a judging system, it reminds me of MMA, where I remember fighting. And even at the end of a round, if I felt like I won the round, I still wanted to do a little extra to try to cement that I won this round. And I talked to several competitors at the Jiu-Jitsu Opens who said something similar, that at the end of the match, they're going and they look over and there's like a minute left. And they think they won the match because they did enough, but they're like, you know what? I'm going to do a little extra because I really want to win this thing. And a lot of times in those scrambles, they either do more to win the match or they end up catching submissions. And likewise, there's still a definitive end to this. So you can't just lay there and do nothing, because again, in a lot of true sub-onlys where they, with maybe a draw at the end or whatever, people will just shell up and do nothing. And it's very hard to engage when someone does nothing. If you watch a lot of submissions at the higher levels, it typically happens when people get desperate and they make movements for things and they're trying to expose themselves to, make a run for an escape. Things happen in those transitions. And so that's been the result of it. I think it's been a great rule set. It's not perfect. We're constantly tweaking it and making adjustments. And, if someone comes to the competition and they say, hey, Chewy, I think my match was judged incorrectly, I get them to give me the video. I watch it myself. And if I watch it and I agree with them, I will do a voiceover and I'll send it to my refs and say, hey guys, listen, I'm looking at this match and here's how it's judged. Let's reward it this way next time because of X, Y, or Z, so that we can try to continually make it better and create consistency, right? But again, what we're trying to do here is reward different types of jiu-jitsu, so it doesn't become, hey, we're taking care of the guys doing takedowns or this, that, or whatever. You get the idea? So again, love Josh, great dude. If you guys are ever sort of in the Granite City area, just outside of St. Louis, check out his gym. And, any of you guys that want to check out our Jiu-Jitsu Open competitions coming up. At the time of recording this, I don't know when this will be out, but we'll be having one in Chicago at the end of March. We'll then have some other competitions coming up. We've got a great one coming up in Cedar Point where you get a 5-day pass to Cedar Point, which is great. I mean, for the price of the competition. So you sign up for the competition, 5-day pass at Cedar Point. We got a bunch of other ones coming up this year. And then on the Sunday following the competition, we have a seminar with me. So if you come to any of the competitions and you want to train with me, roll with me, whatever, on the Sunday, I will be there doing the seminar. Then on Saturday, I'll be walking around. So if you want to hang out or chat during that day, I'll be around. But again, it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate all you guys who have come to the Jiu-Jitsu Open competitions and enjoyed yourself there. We'll continue to make the way that we do it better and better. We're always trying to critique it and adjust it, just like Jiu-Jitsu, right? You're never done. You're always trying to make it a little bit better. So yeah, guys, I'm done chatting with you about it. Hope you're doing well. Talk to you guys next time.